Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to discuss about oral cancers. Last class we discussed about the benign lesions and precancerous conditions of the oral cancers. Today we are discuss about oral cancers. See, it is one of the commonest cancer in the Asia countries and India. There are the etiological factors are all SS, spirit, smoking, spicy foods, and sharp tooths. Everything, all SS are causes for the etiological factors. Smoking and quit chewing pan are important causes. Tobacco, betel nut, alcohol, human papilloma virus, and epistatin-Barr virus, vitamin A deficiency, Plummer-Vinson syndrome, bad dental hygiene, dentature irritation. These are the etiological factors. See, all SS. Then tobacco, chewing, and betel nut, alcohol. Is everything is causes the etiological factors. Then human papilloma virus, epistatin-Barr virus, and vitamin A deficiency, Plummer-Vinson syndrome, poor oral hygiene is all are causes the etiological factors for oral carcinomas. Then it's a risk. Risk is 8 times in tobacco chewers, 10 times in quit users, and 30 times with night quit users. What they will do, the quits they will keep for full night. Okay, in that cases, it is the risk of 30 times increase. Then it is normal tobacco chewers, it 8%, risk is 8 times, and 10 times in quit users, and 30 times in the night quit users. And alcohol increases the solubility of carcinogens and suppress the DNA repair. The commonest oral cancer in India is buccal mucosa, cheek cancer 30%, 70%. It is the most common oral cancer in India is buccal mucosa. In Western countries, it is the tongue. In India, it is the buccal mucosa. In Western countries, it is the tongue. In Western countries, first is tongue 50%, buccal mucosa is 25%, floor is 15%, and gums and others are 10%. Then what are the lesions? Leukoplakia, erythroplakia, chronic hyperplastic candidiasis are the precancerous lesions. Then what are the precancerous conditions? Submucous fibrosis, syphilis glossitis, siderophonic dysphagia. These are the conditions. Erythroplakia, leukoplakia, and hyperplastic candidiasis are precancerous lesions. See, in India, most common type is submucosal, buccal mucosal, and Western countries, the most common is tongue. Okay, these are the precancerous lesions, and that are the conditions, etiological factors. Usually, they are loco-regional disease with high affinity to involve the regional lymph nodes. Distant spread is rare, except in nasopharyngeal carcinoma. Tongue has highest incidence of nodal spread, then floor of the mouth, lower alveolus, cheek, upper alveolus, and palate. See, this is primary may very small to be detected clinically in places like piriform fossa, nasopharynx, posterior third of the tongue, but present clinically has a hard lymph node in the secondaries in the neck. That is called secondaries with unknown primary. Here you have a lymph node in the neck, but you don't know the where is the primary because it is small lesions. It can't be detected in the piriform fossa and posterior of the tongue and nasopharynx. Next, hard secondaries in the neck confirmed by FNAC, but all investigations include blind biopsies, CT head and neck region, and endoscopies could not identify primary lesions. Creates a situation called secondary in the neck with occult primary. Here we did all investigations, but we didn't diagnose the primary. In this situation, we called it is a secondaries with an occult primary. That one is secondaries with unknown primary. Okay, this is the two types: secondaries with unknown primary, secondaries with occult primary. Why trismus? It is a pterygoid muscle involvement. If ear pain due to the auriculotemporal nerve involvement, eye pain in the nasopharyngeal carcinoma, and dysphagia due to the tongue involvement, mainly in the posterior third, and hearing loss due to the spread to the eustachian tube. What are the investigations? I will explain clearly in the next slide. Biopsy, endoscopy, CT neck, MRI, X-ray, chest X-ray are different investigation needed for the depending on anatomical location. Staging will help and plan the treatment and prognosis. All investigations will help you the treatment and diagnosis. Diagnosis, treatment, and what is the prognosis. Surgical void excision and radiotherapy are the main modalities of treatment. Chemotherapy used for adjuvant and curative treatment, early growth with preservation of functions like swallowing, speech, cosmosis. And radiotherapy is also for curative therapy. And palliative chemotherapy, Radiotherapy and surgery can be done depending on location of the lesion, involvement of the mandible. Then neck nodes, how number, size, fixity, alter prognosis, the treatment schedule. Outcome is depends upon the anatomical location. Then the lip carries the better prognosis, tongue has the poor prognosis. See, which in oral carcinomas, lip cancer, it causes the better prognosis. That the tongue is poor prognosis. What are the malignancies common in the oral cavity? Squamous cell carcinomas, most commonest. Then minor salivary gland tumors, melanomas, adenocarcinomas are rare, sarcomas are rare, and basaloid squamous cell carcinoma. Most common is squamous cell carcinoma, and rare is adenocarcinoma and sarcomas. See, this is the which site is most common in India is cheek, then tongue, then floor of the mouth, then palate, then lips. In India, first one it is cheek, tongue, floor of the mouth, palate, then lips. In Western countries, the most common is tongue, then floor of the mouth, then lip, then the last one is cheek. In India, it is the first is cheek. In Western countries, the first is tongue. These are the next. First one, the carcinoma of gingiva-buccal complex. It is a cancer, squamous cell carcinoma involving buccal mucosa and gingiva. Etiological factors which is keeping the tobacco quid in gingival buccal sulcus. It is often called as Indian oral cancer as it is most commonly seen in India. Buccal mucosa extends from upper to lower alveolus, from commissures in front of retromolar region behind. Features, what are the features here? Same swelling, ulcers, everything will be present, and pain. Here what will you do? If it is involved the mandible, then we'll go for marginal mandibulectomy. Segmental is commonly needed. Then adjuvant chemotherapy is useful. See, this is a gingiva. It's most common due to the tobacco quid. They will keep in the gingival sulcus. It is often called as Indian oral cancer. Next, carcinoma of cheek, buccal mucosa. Most common is squamous cell carcinoma, common type of the cheek, and occasionally it can be adenocarcinoma arising from minor salivary glands or mucous glands. Rarely it can be also melanoma. See, that lesion is showing ulcer in the buccal mucosa. Ulcer is there and white patches is there. What are the precipitating factors? Etiological factors, all SS. For all oral carcinomas, all S. Smoking, spirit, syphilis, sharp tooth, sepsis, and spicy foods. The incidence of oral cancers of 6 times more in smokers than non-smokers. What are the pre-malignant lesions and conditions? Leukoplakia, erythroplakia, and chronic hyperplastic candidiasis. These are the pre-malignant lesions. And the conditions are oral submucosal fibrosis, siderophonic dysphagia, syphilitic glossitis. Betel nut chewing is an important causative factor for carcinoma of cheek, and betel nut, arecanut, betel leaf, salculine, and tobacco wrapped in the betel leaf is repeatedly chewed after putting into the mouth, and the quid formed kept for long duration in the gingival sulcus. They will keep full night. See, these are the lesions. Ulcers is present in the first picture, and we have to use the tongue deep pressure for oral carcinoma, oral examination. The last picture is showing that it is extend to the skin, and there is a necrotizing patches are present, and it's fungating. Types: ulcerative, proliferative, verrucous. See, it occurs in the superficial proliferative exophytic lesion with minimal deep invasion, often multiple. The lesions has white, dry, velvety or keratinized surface. It is common in females. And we here also reverse smoking also will cause the oral carcinomas. What they will do, by the fire end, they will keep the inside. Then it is low grade, very well differentiated squamous cell carcinomas, which is locally malignant without any lymphatic spread. It is curable malignancy after biopsy. Is wide location. Biopsy will do whether you will know in the benign lesion or malignant lesion. we have to do treatment wide local excision. Radiotherapy is not given as may lead to the poor differentiated carcinoma. Biopsy will do. If it is confirmed, we will go for wide excision. Here we will not give any radiotherapy. Biological behavior of carcinoma cheek. Carcinoma is a common in posterior half of the cheek than anterior. It spread into the deeper plan to involve the buccinator, pterygoids, into the retromolar trigony, base of the skull and pharynx. It spread outwards to the involve the skin causing fungation, ulceration, orocutaneous fistula formation. See what will happen, it spread to involve the skin causing fungation, ulceration and orocutaneous fistula formation. Mandible is commonly involved either by direct extension or through the subperiosteal lymphatic plexus, which communicates freely with oral lymphatics. Lymph nodes commonly involved are submental, submandibular, and deep cervical, and often lateral pharyngeal groups. Nodal spread is seen in 50% of cases. See where the lymph nodes extend: submental, submandibular, and deep cervical. And nodal spread is in 50% of cases. Infections of the tumor or area or soft tissue around is common, causing fever, foul-smelling ulcer, and halitosis. Respiratory infection is is common in this patient. Once the tumor extends into the retromolar trigony, soft palate, pharynx, dysphagia will occur. Lesions will later spread to the involvement of alveolus. See, etiological factors are all SS and precancerous conditions and precancerous lesions. Okay, tobacco chewing and the quid users are the most and more prone to the carcinomas and is highly carcinogenic also quid. Okay, what are the clinical features? They will ask you like the buccal mucosa etiological factors and lymphatic spread and the clinical features and TNM staging. Then you will go for the investigation. Then last one is management. See, now the clinical features. What are the clinical features? First, it starts as a swelling or ulcers. Sore throat will be present, difficulty in swallowing, and the jaw movements are restricted or facial swellings. Next, then painless and dysphagia will be present. And unexplained tooth mobility, painless neck lumps, and trismus. First, the ulcer it will be not painful. Then, if it is involved with the skin or bony lesions, then it started as the painful conditions. Halitosis, which is a bad odor breath common in the many oral cancers. It is due to the necrosis of tumor, release of mercaptan, butyric acid, and ammonia. The involvement of retromolar trigony indicates that it is in advanced diseases, as the lymphatics are communicate freely with the pharyngeal lymphatics. Mandible examination bidigitally for the thickening, tenderness, and irregular and sides of the fracture. Mandible may get involved by direct extension through the mandible canal or through the periodontal membrane. See, these are the clinical features: swelling, ulcer, and difficulty in swallowing, jaw and facial swellings, painless neck lumps, lymph node enlargement, and trismus, unexplained tooth mobility, halitosis, and if you palpate the mandible bidigitally, if a thickening, any tenderness is present or not, irregularity and sites of fractures, everything you will know by the bidigital examination. Submandible lymph nodes and upper deep cervical lymph nodes are involved, which are hard and nodular, initially mobile, then mobile, and later get fixed to each other, then to the deeper structures. Once the lymph nodes are get fixed, it may infiltrate into the hypoglossal nerve. If the lymph nodes are fixed, it may get infiltrated into the hypoglossal nerve. Then the tongue will deviate towards the same side. Then if it is involved to the spinal accessory nerve, defective in the shrugging of shoulders, and it is cervical sympathetic chains, Horner syndrome. The compression over the external carotid artery, if the compression is present, leads to absence of superficial temporal artery pulsations. Absence of superficial temporal artery pulsations if it is involved to the external carotid artery. See, this is a TNM staging. T for tumor, N for node, and M for metastasis. Tumors, TX, primary tumor cannot be assessed. T0, no evidence of any primary tumor. Thesis, N carcinoma in situ. 1, T1, it is less than 2 centimeters in greatest diameter. T1, it is less than 2 centimeters. T2, T2 is more than 2 centimeters, less than 4 centimeters. And T3, it is more than 4 centimeters, less than 6 centimeters. In the T4, it invades the adjacent structures like mandible, skin, everything. See, there the TNM, T4 stages. T1, it is less than 2 centimeters of greater dimension. And T2, it is more than 2 centimeters, less than 4 centimeters. And T3, it's more than 4 centimeters, less than 6 centimeters. And T4, tumor invades the adjacent structures. This is the T stage. Then we will go for the N. NX, regional lymph nodes cannot be assessed. And N0, no regional lymph node metastasis. N1, here N1, it is a ipsilateral, single ipsilateral lymph node less than 3 centimeters in greatest diameter. N1, it is single ipsilateral, that means same side. Okay, single ipsilateral less than 3 centimeters inside the greater dimension. And N2A, here three types, N2A, N2B, and N2C. N2A, what is N2A? Metastasis in single ipsilateral lymph nodes, it's more than 3 centimeters but lesser than 6 centimeters. Single ipsilateral lymph node, more than 3 centimeters, less than 6 centimeters. See, in N1, it is also ipsilateral single, but it is less than 3 centimeters. But N2A, single ipsilateral, but it is more than 3 centimeters and less than 6 centimeters. And N2B, N2B, what is N2B? It is multiple. See, the before one is single, but here multiple ipsilateral lymph nodes, none more than 6 centimeters. Here N2B, it is ipsilateral multiple lymph nodes, same side multiple lymph nodes, and before N2A, ipsilateral single lymph node. Okay, here it is a multiple ipsilateral lymph nodes. It's more than 6 centimeters size, not more than. Okay, then N2C. What is 2C? This is also bilateral or contralateral lymph node. Bilateral or both sides, or contralateral opposite side lymph node greater than 6, not more than 6 centimeters. See, N2B, it is multiple ipsilateral. And what is 2C? 2C is bilateral or contralateral lymph node, not more than 6 centimeters. So bilateral, both sides or opposite side. This is called N2C. N3, metastasis in any lymph node more than 6 centimeters. This is called N staging. N staging N1, it is ipsilateral, single, less than 3 centimeter. N2A, it is single, ipsilateral, more than 3 centimeters, less than 6 centimeters. Then N2B, 2B what? It is multiple, ipsilateral, not more than 6 centimeters. And 2C, 2C is bilateral or contralateral, none more than 6 centimeters. And N3, the last one, N3 is metastasis in a lymph node more than 6 centimeters. This is called M staging. Then you go for metastasis. If any metastasis is present, M1. If there is no metastasis, M0. This is called TNM staging. For all oral carcinomas is the same staging, same TNM staging. Cheek, tongue, or anything. For all oral carcinoma, TNM staging is same. See, this ulcer, it's a fungating, necrotic patches are present, hyperpigmented lesions are present, pus is present. Then, pattern of the lymph node metastasis. Here the pattern, squamous cell carcinoma is the oral cavity and lips tends to metastasize lymph nodes lip and oral cavity. It is level 1, 2, and to the lesser extent. Level 3 unless higher levels are also positive. And squamous cell of carcinoma of oral tongue. There is a risk of skip of metastasis directly to the lymph nodes 3 or 4 without the involvement of higher level lymph node groups. Then if the distant metastases are relatively uncommon, but the sites involved include lung to the lesser extent and the brain, liver, bone, and the skin. Investigations. See, clinical features are over, etiological factors, first is etiological factors are over, then clinical features are over, then TNM staging over, then the spread also over. Now the investigations. Investigations are very useful for our treatment purpose, and we have to know that the prognosis of the disease. Investigations. What are the investigations you will do? Edge biopsy. Usually take from two sides. Biopsy has to be taken from the edges. See, if the ulcer is present here, you have to take from the edges of the edges. If the ulcer is here, you have to take biopsy from the edges, not from the middle, because middle necrosis tissue will be, in necrotic areas will be present. Okay, that's why you have to take the edge biopsy. How? With if it is a ulcer, you have to take from the edge like this, with the ulcer and the normal tissue. Why? If the normal tissue ulcer you taken, okay, it will differentiate between the ulcer and the normal tissue. That's why we will take edge biopsy with the ulcer part and the normal tissue also. Not in one side, 2 to 3 sides we will take. Not we will take in the middle of the part, because the center it's always necrosis. This is the edge biopsy. Edge biopsy you will take from the edges with the normal tissue for you differentiate the diseased part to normal part. Edge biopsy in histological grading, borders grading is present. It is the 4 types of borders grading. First is A, well differentiated, B is moderately differentiated, and C is poorly differentiated, and D is very poorly differentiated. These are the 4 types. But you write if investigations, edge biopsy, you will take 2 to 3 lesions. Okay. Then fine needle aspiration cytology. In fine needle aspiration cytology, what you will do if any lymph node is present? Okay, you will take from the lymph node part. Fine needle cytology, 21 or 23 gauge needles you will put in the swelling, and you will take the collect the fluid and you will send for the culture. Then plain radiographs. Plain radiographs of jaw is undertaken. X-ray to facilitate educate dental assessment. How the dental, any involved to the mandible, any fractures are present, involvement, you have to know by X-ray. Then main necessary for the evidence of bony invasion, and you will take the chest X-rays also, because you have to know the second is in the lung. These are the radiographs. Then you will go for ultrasound. First one is edge biopsy, FNAC, and X-ray, then ultrasound. Ultrasound is became very integral part of the head and neck services, particularly associated with now one-stop clinical for evaluation of undiagnosed neck lumps or presumed cervical metastasis. It is non-invasive if simply doing, and there is no radiation effect also. In ultrasound, you will know that non-palpable lymph nodes also you can diagnose it by the ultrasound scan. Then if you have to take FNAC, small lymph nodes, you can take by ultrasound guidance. Fine needle aspiration cytology. And MRI. MRI is the investigation choice of all cancers. See, they will ask in NEET bit also. What is the investigation of choice for oral cancers? First one is MRI. Investigation of choice of cancer of the oral cavity, oropharynx, and the neck. CT MRI is the both variable alternatives. MRI suffers less degradation by metallic dental restoration and provide excellent visualization of the soft tissue infiltration of the tumor. See, MRI you have to do before the take a biopsy, because you will know the primary site, primary tissue by the MRI. If you take a biopsy, what will happen? The primary tissue will be somewhat disturbed. You can't predict in the MRI. In MRI, you will not get good diagnosis. That's why before going the FNAC biopsy, you have to take MRI. The primary tissue distortion will be present. That's why before taking the edge biopsy, you have to do MRI. See, this is the MRI picture. The blue one showing that left side tongue tumor, portion of the tongue, and the yellow red one is showing that it is a neck lymph node. The blue one showing that is called tongue growth, and the red one is showing that neck lymph node. Then CT. It is useful when bony invasion is suspected. CT of the thorax is now indicated for all patients and not just those who proven the clinical cervical lymph node metastasis and large volume diseases. And PET scan. PET scan you will use for 18 fluorodeoxy glucose Then in PET scan, you will know that. Secondaries also, you will know that. And full body PET scan. Then FNAC of the lymph node, already told you. Treatment. See, investigations, H biopsy, FNAC of the lymph nodes, ultrasound, X-ray, MRI, CT, PET scan. Treatment. Treatment is two: surgically curative surgical therapy and radiotherapy chemo. Surgically, what will you do? We will do a wide excision. Wide excision, if you ulcer less than 2 centimeters or 2 centimeters present, you will do wide excision with 1 centimeter clearance. 1 centimeter clearance. If it is a neck nodes is present, you will go for neck dissection. If it is involvement of mandible is present, then you will go for the hemimandibulectomy, or if it is a small one, marginal mandibulectomy or segmental mandibulectomy, he will do. Then radiotherapy. It's a curative or palliative or external brachytherapy. Chemotherapy is intraarterial, IV, or orally will give chemotherapy. See, if it is a surgery, wide local excision. If it is a only ulcer is present, if lymph nodes also present, you will go for the neck dissection. Or if it is mandible involvement is there, if mandible involvement is present, you will go for the mandibulectomy. It is hemimandibulectomy or marginal or segmental total mandibulectomy. That is the treatment modalities. See, these are the modalities. If early growth without bone involvement, what will you do? If early growth without bone involvement, simply we will go for wide local excision. Okay, early growth without any bone involvement, you will go for wide local excision. If growth with mandible involvement, what will you do? You will go for wide excision, then you will go for the hemimandibulectomy, marginal or segmental mandibulectomy, depending upon the lesion. Okay, extension of the bone. Then operable growth with mandible involvement and mobile lymph nodes on the same side. See what we will do. Operable growth is present, and mandible bone part also involved. Then neck lymph node also present. In this situation, what we will do? If what we will do, wide local excision first we will do. Then if it is a mandibulectomy, hemimandibulectomy going. Then after that, radical neck dissection. You will remove the lymph nodes, radical neck dissection of the same side. Okay, this is called command operation. What is command operation? You will wide local excision with the involvement of the bone, mandibulectomy and neck dissection. This is the radical neck dissection. This is called command operation. Then operable growth with mandible involvement, mobile lymph nodes on the same side and opposite side. Next one, operable growth. You will go for wide local excision with mandible involvement, mandibulectomy, mobile lymph nodes on same side and opposite side. What will you do? Mobile same side you will go for radical neck dissection, and opposite side we will go for functional neck dissection. See, operable growth with mandible involvement, mobile lymph nodes on same side, wide local excision, then mandibulectomy and radical neck dissection. Opposite side, we will go for functional neck dissection, functional block dissection. Operable primary tumor with mobile lymph nodes on the same side, but without any mandible involvement. Then what will you do? Same wide local excision with neck dissection. We will not go for mandible surgery because there is no mandibular involvement. Fixed primary tumors or advanced neck lymph node secondaries. Fixed primary tumor or advanced neck lymph node dissection, we will go for chemotherapy. Fixed. Otherwise, we will go for next. Preoperative radiotherapy is often used fixed the lymph nodes to the down stage. Preoperative radiotherapy. What will happen? Radiotherapy or adjuvant chemotherapy, if you given, it will the downstage. If they are not resectable, if it is extended, then it will regress the stage. Then we will go for the operate. Okay. Then post-operative radiotherapy is given to T3 and T4 tumors and N2 and N3 node status to reduce the recurrence and to improve the prognosis. Approaches. How will you approach? Transoral or intraoral approach, lip split incision, Patterson's approach, and Wizard approach. These are the approaches for oral carcinoma. See, This picture is showing lip split incision approach. For carcinoma of cheek, it gives adequate exposure to the cheek. Lower extension is for neck block dissection. In that picture showing that the second one, see the neck extension also present for the neck dissection. This is called Patterson incision. Is approach for carcinoma of cheek by raising the skin flaps from lower part of the face adjacent to the lower margins of the mandible. And Visor approach for oral malignancy. Visor approach for anterior mandible, the floor of the mouth and tongue. Here the skin over the anterior curved margins of the mandible is incised to approach the floor of the mouth for the needed procedures. See different types of mandibulectomies. Marginal mandibulectomy, partial mandibulectomy, segmental resection, hemimandibulectomy, rim resection of mandible, resections of the anterior mandible through the Visor approach. These are the mandibulectomies: marginal, partial, segmental, hemi, and rim resection of mandible, resections of the anterior mandible through the Visor approach. See, this is the marginal. This is a segmental resection of the mandible, angle of the mandible to mantle foramen. This is the segmental resection. This is a partial mandibulectomy. Here partial mandibulectomy is removed by mandible one side from the mantle foramen to line of coronary process, including coronary process, but leaving the condylar process. To mandibulectomy. Reconstruction surgeries, flap uses, forehead flap based on the superficial temporal artery, delta pectoral flap based on the 1, 2, 3 perforating vessels from internal memory vessels. Next, pectoralis major myocutaneous flap, free microvascular flap may be from the radial artery forearm flap for small defects, tongue flap, buccal flap, palatal mucociliary flaps. Indications for the surgery. If it is a early tumor spreading to the mandible or bone or alveolus, fungating or hemorrhage due to the erosions, recurrence of the tumor after radiotherapy, multiple sites, soft tissue spread, locally advanced but amendable surgical resections. Advantages: pain is controlled, often curative, fungative ulcerative bleeding is prevented. Fungating ulceration bleeding is prevented. What are the disadvantages of surgery? Anesthesia complications, bleeding, infection, the flap necrosis, requirement for reconstruction, mortality, morbidity will increase, problems of the neck dissection. Role of chemotherapy. Drugs used is methotrexate, cisplatin, vincristine, bleomycin, and erythromycin. Chemotherapy can also be given intraarterially, IV, and orally, then postoperatively. Initially, chemotherapy to downstage the tumor, followed by surgery, and later again end with the chemotherapy. Chemoradiotherapy is used for unresectable tumors. Problems with chemotherapy: bone marrow suppression will be present, megaloblastic anemia, GIT symptoms, hepatotoxicity and renal toxicity present, alopecia, nausea, vomiting, and severe stomatitis. And problems with the radiotherapy: loss of taste, infections, mucositis, dental diseases, skin extraction, hair loss, trismus, and hypothyroidism. Neck is irradiated. Next, radiation neuritis, carotid artery atherosclerosis, visual impairment, shoulder and neck dysfunctions, soft tissue fibrosis. See, I finished the carcinoma of cheek. I told you carcinoma cheek etiological factors and spread and the clinical features, TNM staging, and the investigations. What are the investigations and the treatment modalities? Treatment is surgical and chemotherapy, radiotherapy. I told you the surgical, what will happen if it is a small one, local excision. If it is a mandible involved, we will go for mandibulectomies. I told you the different types of surgeries. And if it is a neck involvement, neck lymph nodes is present, you will go for lymph node dissection. The next topic, university question, that is the carcinoma of lip. The incidence of carcinoma of lip is 15% of head and neck cancers and 1% of all cancers. It may arise from the vermilion surface or mucosal part of the lip. It is common after 40 years of age. In younger age group, even though it is rare, carries the poor outcome. It is more common in whites, rare in blacks. Kini, a mixture of tobacco, lime kept under the lip as called kini chewers, are more susceptible to the carcinoma, and here the etiological process same, all SS and precancerous conditions and pre. See, it's common in men. Common in lower lip, 90%. Upper lip, see, they will ask you which lip is mostly common. It is a lower lip. It is 90%. Upper lip is 5 to 10%. Upper lip is not exposed to direct radiation. Commonly due to the exposure to sunlight, common in the pipe smokers, initially starts as red granular dry lesions which eventually gets ulcerated and forms an ulcer proliferative lesions. Occasionally, it occurs at the angle of mouth. It spread to submantle nodes, later to the neck nodes on the both sides. Usually, it is a well-differentiated squamous cell carcinoma. Commissured tumors are 2% of all lip cancers, but is higher rate of lymph node spread. Initially, it is well localized. A depth more than 5 mm will be spread to the lymph nodes, mainly submental and submandible level 1 group lymph nodes. See the clinical features. Simply write the etiological factors, then you will come for the clinical features. TNM staging is same. What are the clinical features? It is non-healing progressive ulcer, painless to begin with, everted edges with indurations. Growth moves with the lip. Submental, submandibular, and deep sphenic lymph node may get enlarged. Tender, firm lymph nodes may be due to the infection. Hard, initially non-tender, no, is due to the carcinoma spread. If in half of the cases, lymph nodes are enlarged due to the infection or reactive progress of fungation, bleeding, and halitosis. The clinical features of fungating, bleeding, and halitosis. What are the differential diagnoses? Keratocondylarma, basal cell carcinomas. Basal cell carcinoma occurs only in the upper lips. Then minor salivary glands. Often carcinoma of lip is extension from the carcinoma of cheek. Pyogenic granuloma is in rarely cases, and malignant melanoma. Here the important point is most common the lower lip. These are the clinical features. These are the differential diagnosis. See, here they're showing, the first picture is showing the middle of the lower lip, only growth is present. And the second picture is showing it is the involvement of the lip and the commissures, and it is extending the alveolus. Diagnosis, what will be same? Edge biopsy. Edge biopsy will take 2 or 3 places. We will take the ulcerative part with normal tissue. Then FNAC of lymph nodes. Treatment, if the lesion is less than 2 centimeters, then curative radiotherapy, either brachytherapy or external beam radiotherapy. It gives a good cure. If the tumor is more than 2 centimeters, wide excision is done. Excision of the lower lip to the lower lip up to 1/3 can be sutured primarily in layer keeping vermilion border in the proper opposition without causing any microstomia. Excision more than 1/3 of the lip requires reconstruction using the different flaps. If it is less than 2 centimeters, you will go for curative radiotherapy, brachytherapy, external beam radiotherapy. If tumor more than 2 centimeters, we will go for wide excision. And then excision is more than 1/3. If it is a local excision, you will go for primary closure. If excision is more than 1/3 of the lip, then you will go for the reconstructive surgeries, different flaps. See, in picture we are showing that primary repair of the after wide local excision of small tumor, 1/3 of the lip can be sacrificed. Then upper lip is sutured in the layers. First layer, mucomuscular layer with observable sutures. Second layer is skin with non-observable monofilament sutures like polypropylene. What are the methods? Different types of flaps is present. Maybe standard rotation flap, Ferris modified flap, facial flap, microvascular flap, nasolabial flaps, cheek flap, free radial artery flap, AB flap, W flap plasty, and Gillis fan flap. Other regular flaps like forehead flaps and deltopectoral flap. See, these are the flaps. You write some surgeries. I have AB standard rotation flap, microvascular flap, nasolabial flap, cheek flap, free radial artery flap, AB flap, W flap plasty, and Gillis fan flap, Other regular flaps like forehead flap and deltopectoral flap. These are the methods. We will go for wide localization. We will want the one third of the lip is involved. If more than one third of the lip is removed, then we will go for the reconstructive surgeries. Thank you. Any doubts you can ask. See, they will ask you a carcinomas or essay question or the short question, 4 marks question for you. If they ask you in the essay question, you elaborate that etiological factors, write all essays and precancerous, pre-lesions and conditions. Then you will write the clinical features. Okay, then you will go write the spread, lymph node spread. Then you will write investigations. What are the investigations? Simply FNAC, edge biopsy, MRI, ultrasound, and X-ray, X-ray chest, and the facial bones, because you have to know that whether the bone involvement is there or not. X-ray chest for any second is present or there or not. Okay, then ultrasound, MRI, CT, PET scan. These are the investigation modalities. Then you have to go for the treatment part. Yeah, TNM staging. TNM staging is good. Is elaborate the T for tumor, N for nodes, and M for metastasis. You will write same for all oral carcinomas. Then you will go for treatment part. Treatment part is surgical part and chemotherapy, radiotherapy. You have to elaborate it. Any doubts? Functional block dissection. It is called retaining the spinal accessory nerve and interjugular vein and sternocleidomastoid muscle. Through three things will retaining. What are the interjugular vein and sternocleidomastoid and spinal accessory nerve? Thank you.